Diamond Tiara and Silver Spoon were tied up on opposite sides of the room. For the first few minutes, they just stared death glares at each other and threw out threats and insults. Saphira had put a stop to that right away, threatening to turn them both into ugly little toads if they made her mad. Pipsqueak knew she couldn't even do that if she wanted to. She was very good at telekinesis, but was about average in every other basic unicorn spell. Best she could do was tie them up again. He still shuddered at the memory of Saphira's rage, even more so than Silver Spoon's outburst. This was just a whole new night of sides for everyone. Now the former friends just avoided each other's gaze. Pipsqueak could clearly see the things Silver Spoon said had affected Diamond Tiara, mostly because he was about 2 inches from her face, due to applying first aid on the wounds she sustained, but also because she hadn't insulted him once since the whole ordeal ended. She even said thank you when he cleaned up the open gash on her face. That was probably the most shocking thing in the night. Actually, no, it wasn't. The dead body was. But this is something to take his mind off of it. Pipsqueak, am I a horrible pony? Yes, Pipsqueak said in a heartbeat. She looked like she wanted to say something, but sighed in a defeated tone. I don't try to be, it's just the way I am. I can't fight who I really am, after all. Nope, Pipsqueak said. Nope. Nope. You're giving up too easily. You can change if you want to. No, I can't. Sure you can. How will you know if you never tried? How do I be a nicer pony? You can start by apologizing to Silver Spoon. She is your friend, after all. Probably not anymore. Well, if she's a good friend, she'll forgive you. If you're a good friend, you'll actually try to earn her forgiveness. Sage advice from Pipsqueak. Where was that all coming from? Probably something his dad had told him. He really missed his dad right now. He wondered if his dad had tried to check up on him, only to find that no one's seen him or 17 other foals. Maybe the town was out searching for them. Maybe they'd be rescued soon. What would he tell everyone about Archer, Featherweight, Dinky, Snips, Snails, Firelocks, Rumble, Twist, Green Days, and Shady Days? He shook his head. No, don't think about it. He returned his attention to Diamond Tiara. Start saying sorry. Here, like this. I'm sorry. See? You can do it. He stood there, with bated breath, waiting for Diamond Tiara to just play along. She sighed, rolled her eyes, and then, half-flanked tune, uttered, I'm sorry. Not apologetic at all. It's a start. It was so insincere that he didn't have the heart to tell her that she needed to work on her apology skills. At least she actually said the words instead of trying to twist. Don't think about twist. She actually said the words. That was probably a good thing. As good as they were going to get. Keep trying. I'm going to go check on the others. Okay, she sighed. Thanks. I'll think about it. Now go away. She turned away from Pipsqueak. Pipsqueak nodded and headed back to the remaining ponies. Saphira was laying next to the lantern and staring at the door. Schootaloo and Noi were trying to comfort each other by talking about how great Rainbow Dash was. Pipsqueak trotted along beside them, then asked, Coronet and Lemon haven't come back yet? Nope. Noi sounded worried. During the ensuing chaos, Lemon had started screaming and then ran off into the hallways. Coronet had taken off after her. That was 15 minutes ago. I'm going to go look for them. I'll go with you. It's probably best if we stay in pairs. Schootaloo ruffled Pipsqueak's mane before heading off deeper into the building with Noi trailing behind her. She could faintly hear their conversation about Rainbow Dash down the hall, until they were out of his hearing range. He sighed and laid down next to Saphira, who was busy stuffing her face with the food they had brought with them. Stress eating? No, unicorns didn't have a infinite magical pool. It drained energy just like anything else. So it only made sense that she needed to eat. Well, what a night. Had they gone back to the silent game again? No, she just had a mouthful of chocolate. She swallowed and nodded, wiping her mouth with her hooves. I didn't know your telekinesis was so strong. In Hollow Shades, we learned defensive spells early. I'm not really that great at a lot of spells, but telekinesis is my stronger ones. It's only gotten stronger since I left. I told you about this earlier, didn't I? Yeah, you did. Hey, why did you leave anyways? Pipsqueak felt this was a tough question to ask. Saphira might not even bother answering. It's a long story. Do you remember when I was talking about how I lost my cutie mark? Well, we were stupid fools, so, against the wishes of our parents, we went out to prove we were brave ponies. We ventured into the woods looking for... I don't even remember why we were in there. I do know, though, there were 20 of us at the start. By the end of it, I was the only one left. Next morning, the adults found me in a hollowed-out tree, shivering and muttering incoherently to myself. All my close friends were gone. Predator attacks is what they called it. That was all over, and I could rest. But that was a lie. It wasn't over. She trailed off, taking a deep sigh as she brushed her mane with her hooves. My parents sent me to Ponyville, after I would wake up screaming in the night. I'd been complaining about a constant noise in my head to them, but it wasn't until the 3rd week that they couldn't take the constant night terrors. Noise. Seeing them every night, telling me to come back to the forest, or to hurt myself. You should jump. I was supposed to live with some relatives, get away from Hollow Shades for a while, rest, and recuperate. Try not to think about it. Don't think about it. The nightmares didn't stop, though. It never stopped. Once in a while, I'd have a peaceful night. It never lasted long, though. Only when it seemed like I would die from sleep deprivation. And then it started to click. That unease he was feeling from before. The thing that took your friends. It followed you, didn't it? She grew silent. That only made Pipsqueak more suspicious. Someone as smart as Saphira must have thought about it. She looked to the lanterns. We learned to make these lanterns in Hollow Shades. They're more than just simple lanterns. They've been enchanted to ward off certain monsters. The only reason I survived is because I kept my lantern with me at all times. If this is the same one, they're probably all the only reason that we're still here. What do you remember about it? Saphira, if it can help us. What I remember the most is the green light, the loud screech, the constant noise in the back of my head. I don't know anything specific. I hardly paid attention to the bestiarity or old legends, but what I do remember is that it hunts foals almost exclusively. It leads young ponies astray with a haunting, melodious sound that only they can hear. It can mimic the shape of a pony it's taken. It can even control what's left of their body to fool other ponies. It's not a predator. It doesn't eat them. It just likes to see pain, misery, fear, rage, sorrow. And then it strikes when it's done torturing its victim. The Pied Piper. Pipsqueak responded immediately. What? You're describing the Pied Piper. My dad, he wrote a story based on an old pony legend about a unicorn who lost his foals, so he tried to steal the foals of others by making a pact with something. There wasn't a word for it in any known pony language. His soul was twisted and mangled, and now he wanders the land, hunting foals that go astray. That's what my dad wrote, at least. Could it be possible? She seemed to be seriously considering the possibility. Regardless, if this one followed me, then we can't fight it. We should wait till morning and then we'll... Thunder struck overhead, followed by a loud crash from upstairs. The 4 ponies immediately stood up. The others! She said urgently as she ran towards the staircase, Pipsqueak, Demetiara, and Silver Spoon following closely behind. They raced up the stairs. They heard the sounds of sobs from inside one of the closed doors. Saphira and Pipsqueak rammed the door open. Inside the room, they saw Cornet huddled in the corner, and the rain falling into the room from the broken window. "Cornet!" Pipsqueak called, rushing to her side, then stopping just for a second due to the sound of thunder. "It got her!" she cried. "A monster! It broke through the window and took Lemon Days!" She sobbed harder. "Pipsqueak, we have to find Noi and Schootaloo. Silver Spoon, Demetiara, take Cornet back downstairs, and wait for us at the entrance room." Without another word, she sped off down the hallway with Pipsqueak in tow. Pipsqueak looked back into the room just for a second, and what he briefly glimpsed on Cornet's face confused him. Regardless, he didn't have time to wonder what he saw. It must have been a trick of the mind anyways. The 2 ponies frantically searched through the building, checking room for room, but finding no trace of the 2 ponies. "It's getting bolder," Pipsqueak noticed, based on what he knew about the monster. It didn't attack them outright. It lured ponies away and struck them when they were alone. Here, it just attacked Lemon Days right in front of Cornet. Heck, it broke through the window and alerted them to its presence. "I know, but we need to find them, then get out of here." But why had it abandoned the notion of stealth? Why would something that's been primarily attacking from the shadows suddenly disregard hiding in favor of outright attacks? Right! Pipsqueak couldn't agree more. He rounded the corner and then crash! He crashed into some pony. Dazed and disoriented, he heard Schootaloo exclaim, "Schootaloo! Noi!" "They're all right?" Pipsqueak asked, getting back on his hooves and shaking off the pain. "The monster," Schootaloo said, completely out of breath. "It's here." "It got Lemon Days, just like Archer." "Don't think about it." "Come on, we'll meet back up with the others." As they sped off, Pip slowed down for a bit. That noise, he recognized it now. Music. It vaguely resembled music from a wind instrument. "Are you afraid, Pipsqueak?" Yes, Pipsqueak was very afraid.